Malaysia offers a vibrant fusion of cultures and customs, east and west, and as ever the atmosphere proves hot and sultry. But the sweeping circuit saw several drivers lose their cool in qualifying. Takuma Sato hits a bump and spins at turn 11. It could have been a good lap, but it leaves him with a lot of work on his hands. Another big name at the back is Fernando Alonso. He too was pushing hard, but a mistake at turn 14 sends his Renault into the gravel and leaves him in last place for the race. Michael took pole again, but he's joined by Mark Webber, who gets on the front row of the grid for the first time in his F1 career. It's threatened rain all weekend, and here it is just minutes before the start. Giorgio Pantano falls foul of the one engine per weekend rule and opts to start from the pit lane rather than the back of the grid. The track is dry in places and damp in others. It's going to be a very exciting race. It hasn't even started and already Raikkonen's demonstrating some on-track acrobatics. Kimi recovers his position, but could it be a bad omen for his afternoon? Fernando Alonso will need every good luck charm going to get through from the back of the field if he wants to mix it with the Ferraris. Mark Webber has a slow getaway, elevating Montoya to third. But Jenson Button and Jarno Trulli are set on a collision course. Alonso makes light work of the cars around him, and finally Webber sorts out his start line gremlins, but he's way down the field. Trulli gets ahead of Button, while Sato, who started at the back of the grid, makes progress at Heidfeld's expense. Michael is clear at the front, but Takuma is now hot on the heels of Massa, and Heidfeld's trying to get back in the action. And just in case this isn't enough, there's more rain, but only on parts of the track. Michael takes it steady, but Barrichello's harder compound Bridgestone tyres are not paying off in these conditions. He runs wide, allowing Montoya and Raikkonen to reap the benefits. Now Juan Pablo is unleashed. He sets about catching the other Ferrari. And before long, he has caught Michael. If only things had been different at the start. Rubens had better watch his mirrors. Button goes round the outside of Trulli as Ralph, Coulthard and Webber exchange hostilities. Fernando Alonso's found himself a piece of the action. He manages to steal 8th from Webber, despite starting from the back of the grid. Now Coulthard is in his grasp. How can it have gone so wrong for Mark Webber? Ralf Schumacher takes 9th, but the two make contact, and it's the Jaguar that comes off the worse for wear. Mark suffers a puncture to the right rear tyre, and he will have to stop for repairs. It may have been his best ever qualifying, but this will be a day to forget. It's a weekend to forget for Sato. The team can't believe he made that mistake. Now the action moves to the pits. Barrichello, Raikkonen and Trulli are debating 3rd, 4th and 5th when they make their stops. Every second is crucial. It's Kimi who gets out first. Rubens isn't too far behind, but Jarno has other ideas. The Ferrari has paid dearly for that earlier off. There's plenty of activity further down the field, courtesy of Olivier Panis and Giancarlo Fisichella. A momentary lapse from the Sauber leaves the Toyota right on his tail. Coulthard's gearbox is being hounded by Alonso. But staring at the back of a McLaren isn't where Fernando wants to be, so he goes right round the outside. A shambolic race comes to a premature end for Mark Webber. It looked so promising, but it just wasn't meant to be. Michael and Montoya remain P1 and P2 after the last round of pit stops, but a fuel rig problem for Raikkonen helps Button to leapfrog him when it counts most. And now a top three finish is up for grabs. Things are really heating up. Not quite as much as at Williams, though. A podium was always going to be a long shot for Ralph, but a retirement was not predicted. It all went downhill when he touched Webber, and now there's a rare BMW failure. BAR know how fickle Formula One can be. Button has been P3 before, and they're not getting carried away just yet. Montoya is still second when he makes his final stop. This is a crucial point in the race. He did not want to rejoin behind Barrichello's late-stopping Ferrari. Juan Pablo and Rubens may be friends, but Montoya won't let that get in the way of the top step of the podium. Everything is getting between Raikkonen and the checkered flag this year. A probable hydraulics problem leaves him on the sidelines again. He expected to be pushing for the championship. Instead, he's shoving a marshal. He's not the only one who's getting annoyed. A radio communication problem for Panis resulted in an unscheduled pit stop and an angry Gallic gesture to the team. A hasty exit costs him a penalty. Sato's departure is just as rapid, but a little more smoky. Surely Button can't be sentenced to more misfortune in Sepang. He's told he must preserve his engine. He can't afford to back off too much, as Barrichello's closing him down with every lap. But when the flag falls, it's Michael Schumacher at the front of the field. He wins once again in the sweltering heat of Malaysia. But for John Button, it's as if his son has won the race. For the last 2 years, Button has had a Ferrari behind him, and they've overtaken him on the last lap. This year, he stays ahead. Despite his engine woes, he held off Barrichello to the bitter end to make his first visit to the podium. Montoya finished a quiet second, although unimpressed by the tactics of Rubens. Alonso recovered well to finish 7th, and Felipe Massa took his first point of the season for Sauber. This is the moment BAR have been waiting for. How does it feel to finally taste that champagne?
I choked a bit, but no, it's a great feeling, and it's amazing for the whole team. We've worked so hard for this, and it's been a great start of the season. I couldn't have wished for anything else really at the moment.